everybody, this is Applicabledave. I am at Fanime. It's day one. I have a special guest with me. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Steph. I go by AntiAiChan though. Yay.
Okay, so tell us about your cosplay.
So this is Ruby from the series RWBY, and I completely made it myself, and it has a lot of poof. I don't know if you can see it in the shot.
It does have
I can fit people in my skirt.
That's funny. So how long did it take you to do this?
It didn't take me too long because I've been patterning my own stuff for quite a few years now, so I just went ahead and patterned everything. But the problem with this costume is that I intended it to be for a snowshoe up in Lake Tahoe, so it's made out of wool and suede, and I have tights and these heavy boots, and when it's Fanime in like 80 degrees, it's not a good combination.
That's crazy. Okay, can you actually do a once around? So how, when you make cosplays, how often do you add on to it? Or do you usually don't release it until it's like 100% complete?
Well, do you mean like adding on like your own unique elements, or like once you wear it, do you want to like redo certain things? Like expand on the question.
Maybe redo certain things as far as, oh, you know what, it would be a lot better to add, I don't know, an extra knife or an extra pouch on your belt or something.
I think about those things during the con, but then because I'm the laziest person ever, I never actually go back and make anything useful. So like, it'd be great if the pouch on this actually worked, but it totally doesn't. And I kept saying it like the first time I wore it, I was like, oh yeah, I'll totally make this workable, and so I can hold things, I don't have to carry a bag around, and then it's still not useful.
So tell us about your weapon that you conveniently don't have.
So I made the scythe for the photo shoot, but because the shoot was all the way up in Tahoe, I had to make it be able to like be cut down and like transfer it over there because it's like 5 by 7 feet. So I don't have the space to keep something like that in my apartment, so I actually made it like super shitty. So it's actually just like wooden dowel for the main base, and then the rest of it is actually insulation foam, like the big sheets of pink insulation foam you can buy at Home Depot,
right?
As well as poster board, and it's all held together by industrial Velcro. Like nothing is actually glued on it. So like it's really light, but it was also really fragile because I just needed it for the shoot. And so once I was done, I kind of just threw it away in Reno. So that's why I don't have it, because it's in a dumpster in Reno somewhere.
That's funny. I heard a story of you trying to assemble it like right in the middle of the street one time.
Yeah, that's true. So because we were shooting on location in Lake Tahoe, I had to assemble all of it. So I was literally like laying out all these pieces on the side of the road in the snow. And like just like putting the Velcro on and like taking off the tape on the back and like putting things together. And I had no idea how it was going to work because I couldn't try it out beforehand because the insulation foam would have been way too fragile to take it apart with the industrial Velcro. So I kind of had to do it on spot and then hope things worked out.
But it did though, right?
It did for a few pictures, and then that's all I really needed it for.
Well, how long did it take you to assemble that thing?
About 20 minutes to assemble, because I mean you had to actually like take off the backing onto the Velcro and stick it on and make sure everything's like lined up and stuff. But I mean the whole thing like total to make took me like 3 hours max.
Oh dang. Well, it was worth it. You got your use out of it, right?
I did. And the pictures came out lovely. I just don't have it with me for a con now.
How long have you been cosplaying?
So I've been cosplaying for about 11 years now, which is a really long time, and I realized a few weeks ago, I was like, that's almost half of my life spent as dressing up as a fictional character. And I'm just like, what am I doing with my life?
That's okay. That says a lot about a person, though. We all love cosplaying, though, so it's all good.
It's true. It's all for fun and showing your appreciation for the fandom and characters and having a good time.
Exactly. So I briefly asked you a while back, but could you tell us what got you started with cosplaying?
So I've always really, really liked costuming. So I was always that person who dressed up for school spirit days, like, and went balls to the walls in like 3rd grade and like did all this stuff. And like for Halloween, I was all about having cool costumes. My mom used to sew a lot, so she would actually make my costumes for Halloween too. And so I have always been to anime and video games and comics, like all my life. And in high school, a friend of mine asked me to go to Anime Expo with her that year in 2003. And I had no idea what Anime Expo was. I had no idea there was conventions for weirdos like me in the world. So I went and like the cool thing to do, you go to Wikipedia and, and I looked up Anime Expo and I was like, what is this? And then like it has all the little links, like if like on a word if you don't know it, and like cosplay came out. I was like, what is cosplay? And then it took me to the cosplay page on Wikipedia and I was like, oh, this is my life. This is what I was meant to do. And then I cosplayed for every single convention since then.
That's awesome. You said 11 years?
Yep, 11 years going strong.
Okay, last question.
Okay.
If you were to give advice to somebody who's starting out as cosplaying, doesn't know what they're doing, what advice would you give them?
Don't be afraid to cosplay, because I mean a lot of people have fears like, oh well, this person's so good and mine will never compare to that, or like, oh, I'm not the right body type to do this character, or I'm not the right ethnicity, and none of that shit matters. Like nobody cares if you're like too tall or too short or a little too heavy to be that character. Like it really doesn't matter. Everyone is here to have fun, have a good time, support the show and the character, and just make friends and be a happy cosplaying community. So don't be afraid if your first costume isn't quality, like someone who's been cosplaying for 10 plus years. You're gonna get better, you're gonna improve, and who knows, maybe people will be looking up to you in a few years. So have fun.
That's awesome. And yeah, every single cosplayer who's big and famous or who's well known started somewhere, right?
Exactly. I mean, I've never even taken a sewing lesson, and everyone's like, what do you mean you don't know how to sew? And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing half the time, seriously. So, okay, so if I have never been taught how to sew, I've never taken a sewing class, and I've been able to come and like make, I think, cool things, then I think anybody is able to.
That's pretty awesome. Well, there you have it, folks. AntiAiChan, thank you so much for being here.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
And we'll catch you guys later.